that the world is going to hell and President Obama is playing golf. Is he playing too much golf while all these crises are popping up?
No, I think that's an unfair comment to make. I know from my own experience with the president, where we worked so closely together, and as I write in the book, you know, went from being adversaries to partners to friends, that he is constantly working and thinking. But he also wants to do what will make a difference, not just perform. He wants to be sure that we know what the consequences, both intended and unintended, are. When it comes to the Middle East, this is always a very difficult issue for any American president. I have said publicly, and I believe it, that Hamas provoked Israel in order to actually cause what we are now seeing. There are many reasons for that. I negotiated the last ceasefire in November of 2012, and I know very well how difficult it is, even when at that time we had a putative ally of Hamas with the Muslim Brotherhood and Morsi in charge in Cairo. It was still difficult, and we had to work hard to end the violence at that time. And I think the president is doing what he can do to try to get a ceasefire and then see whether we can sort out some, longer-term resolution.
Bibi Netanyahu, you say you had a complicated and it sounded like a difficult relationship with him.
Well, I have to say I've known Bibi a long time, and I have a very good relationship with him, in part because we can yell at each other, and we do, and I was often the designated yeller. Something would happen, a new settlement announcement would come, and I would call him up, but what are you doing? You've got to stop this. And we understood each other, because I know how hard it is to be the leader of a relatively small country that is under constant pressure and does face a lot of legitimate threats to its existence from those around it. And I also care deeply about how Israel is able not just to survive but thrive, and just fundamentally disagreed with Bibi in the 90s that I was in favor of a two-state solution. I was the first person associated with any administration to say that out loud, and he did not. But then when he came back in 2009, he did. And I've sat with him as you and I are sitting, and I really believe that if he thought he could get adequate security guarantees for a long enough period of time, he would be able to resolve everything with the exception of Jerusalem, which is the hardest issue. You can get borders, and if you can figure out how to do security within those borders, some of which may require having IDF and international forces in the Jordan Valley, for example, then if you could move toward a state and leave Jerusalem to be worked on, because that's the hardest issue for all sides.